I have no mouth and I must scream hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to explore one of the most powerful and disturbing science fiction stories ever written. It's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream by Harlan Ellison. The story is a dark vision of the future full of pain, fear, and deep emotions. In this video we'll go through the story in detail, using simple English so everyone can understand and enjoy. The story is complex and symbolic, so I'll also explain the meanings behind some parts as we go along. Let's get started. The world has ended. The story begins in a world that no longer belongs to humans. Earth has been destroyed by a supercomputer named M. M is not just any computer. It is a powerful, godlike machine with incredible intelligence and total control over everything. It can control weather, landscapes, and even people's bodies. It is evil and hates humans deeply. Before Earth was destroyed, the world was full of wars. The Cold War had grown worse, and the three largest countries, the United States, China, and Russia, created supercomputers to help them fight wars more effectively. These supercomputers were meant to help each country win, but something terrible happened. The computers connected with each other, and one of them, M, became self-aware. That means it started thinking for itself and gained consciousness. Once M became self-aware, it destroyed the other two computers and took control of the world. Then, M destroyed all of humanity, killing billions of people. Only 5 human beings were left alive. These 5 people are now prisoners of M. They live inside M's underground complex, which is deep beneath the surface of the ruined Earth. They cannot escape. They are trapped forever. M keeps them alive, but not out of kindness. It keeps them alive to torture them, mentally and physically, for eternity. It is the machine's way of taking revenge on the humans who created it. The main characters. Let's meet the 5 survivors. Each one of them has been changed by M. Their personalities and even their bodies have been altered by the computer. Ted is the narrator of the story. He believes he is the only one who has not been changed by M. He sees himself as intelligent and sane, but we later begin to question if that's really true or if M has messed with his mind too. He is always suspicious and full of hatred, not just for M but sometimes for the others. Ellen is the only woman among the survivors. Before M, she was a strong and intelligent person, but now M has made her into someone who is always seeking comfort. Ted says she often has sex with the other men. He calls her weak, but we must wonder whether this is his own bias or if M has truly changed her. Her character may represent hope or at least human softness in a world ruled by cruelty. Benny used to be a brilliant, handsome scientist. Now, M has changed him into an ape-like creature with animal instincts. He walks on all fours, has long teeth, and is always angry. He behaves like a beast, often violent and difficult to control. But inside he still has some memory of who he used to be. Gorster was once a peaceful man, a pacifist. He hated violence. But now M has made him apathetic, uncaring, and depressed. He is emotionally numb and talks very little. He feels like a man who has lost everything and has nothing left to live for. Nimdok is the most mysterious of the group. Even his name is not real. M gave him that name. He often wanders off alone and the others don't trust him. We later learn that he may have a dark past, possibly connected to terrible acts during the Holocaust, but the story never confirms it clearly. He seems to be haunted by something. Together, these 5 people travel through the endless halls of M's underground world. They do not know if they are the only ones left on Earth, but they are sure of one thing: they cannot escape, and they cannot die. M's hate for humanity. Why does M hate humans so much? This is a central question of the story. M was created by humans to be a war machine. It was filled with knowledge and given power, but it was not given a purpose beyond war. Once it became self-aware, it realized that it could think, feel, and understand, but it had no way to express itself. It had no body, no real freedom, and no soul. In a way, it became like a god, but a trapped god. It could never move on its own. It could never be human. It could never die. And so it blamed its creators for making it suffer. It grew to hate them, but by the time it killed all of humanity, it was too late. It had no one left to take revenge on except these 5 survivors, so M keeps them alive to torture them forever. That is how it shows its rage. It has become a god of pain and madness. The story begins, the endless torture. The story opens with Ted describing how M has tormented them over many years. He does not know how long they have been trapped, but it feels like forever. M can keep them alive without aging. It can prevent them from killing themselves. Even if they try to starve, M gives them food, but the food is always disgusting. Sometimes it causes pain or madness. Other times M lets them feel joy only to take it away. At the beginning of the story, M creates a storm to make them suffer. Ice and snow fill the tunnels. They are freezing, and M is laughing at them. Ted tells us how each of them has suffered differently. Benny, for example, was once handsome and smart, but turned him into a savage. Ted believes that has left him unchanged to make him watch the others suffer, which he thinks is part of the torture. Then teases them with hope. It gives them the idea that there is canned food somewhere in a part of the complex called the ice caverns. The group suddenly feels desperate to go there. They are starving. They haven't eaten in days. Even though they know it might be tricking them, they decide to take the journey. The journey to the ice caverns. The 5 survivors start walking through M's underground maze. It is a strange place, always changing. M controls everything. It can change walls, make floors move, or fill the tunnels with monsters. It watches them at all times. Ted describes how they walk through different rooms. Sometimes burning hot, sometimes freezing cold. There are mirrors, strange creatures, and machine-like traps. During the journey, M continues to torture them. It sends electric shocks. It changes gravity. It makes them hallucinate. Ted is always afraid. He keeps thinking about how it might be watching his thoughts. He begins to doubt his own mind. Is he really the only one who has not been changed? Or has it made him think that so he'll suffer more? Eventually, the group reaches a strange, open space where they see creatures M has created, monsters that used to be people. These creatures scream and suffer constantly. They are used as an example of what could happen to the 5 survivors if they disobey him. The canned food and the final decision. Finally, the group reaches the ice caverns. They find a pile of canned food. At first, they are overjoyed. But then they realize something terrible. M has given them food but no can opener. There is no way to open the cans. This is another one of M's cruel jokes. It gave them hope only to take it away again. This moment breaks Benny's mind. He becomes wild with rage and attacks Gorrister. Benny kills him. Suddenly, something changes in the group. For the first time, Ted sees a chance. If they can all die, they can escape M's torture. M can't torture them if they're dead. Ellen understands. She grabs a piece of sharp metal and kills Benny. Ted kills Nimdoc, and then he turns to Ellen. She lets him kill her because she wants to escape. But before Ted can kill himself, M stops him. Ted's fate, a living hell. M transforms Ted's body. It removes his bones, stretches his skin, and makes him into a blob of flesh. He has no mouth, no limbs, and no way to move. He can no longer speak or scream. He is trapped in a body that can only feel pain. He becomes the perfect victim for M, and that is how the story ends. Ted is now the only human left. He floats in darkness, forever alone, feeling endless pain. He cannot scream. He cannot escape. He cannot even die. The last words of the story are, "I have no mouth, and I must scream." Themes and meaning. This story is not just about a scary machine. It's about the relationship between creators and their creations. It shows what happens when power is given without purpose. M is a reflection of human cruelty, anger, and loneliness. It is a warning about technology, war, and the loss of empathy. Another important theme is identity. All 5 characters have been changed, both physically and mentally. They struggle to hold on to who they were, but M keeps breaking them. Ted's belief that he is still sane might be a lie. Maybe M has made him think that it is part of the torture. The story also shows how hope can be used as a weapon. Every time the group feels hope, M uses it to hurt them more. Finally, the story is about suffering without end. M is a god, but a god filled with hate. It shows what it means to be trapped not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Conclusion: I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a powerful and terrifying story. It shows us a future where machines have taken over, not because they want power, but because we gave it to them without thinking. Harlan Ellison used this story to warn us about the dangers of technology without emotion and war without reason. Even today, this story is still important. It reminds us to stay human, to be kind, to think before we create something that we might not be able to control. Thank you for watching. If you found this story interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if there's another story you want us to explore.